I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
President Trump has less than 17 days in the White House, but he's not going quietly as he continues challenging election results. This morning, we are sharing the concerning phone call between Trump and the Georgia Secretary of State.
I'm live at Spokane's Fire Training Center, where high-risk first responders will be getting the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine starting today.
Schools in the Northwest now consider opening in 2021. What are their plans and how they compare to other places around the world?
And as the sun comes up, we've got a little bit of rain coming down. We're talking a soggy start to the week before sun returns.
Up with KREM begins now.
7:01 now. We want to welcome you here to Up with KREM on the CW22. The Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has not been approved in the United States just yet, but it has been approved in the United Kingdom. Overnight, an 82-year-old British man became the first person to receive the Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
Well, the vaccine means everything for me. I mean, to my mind, it's the only way of getting back to a bit of normal life.
Now, Britain approved the vaccine on December 30th with a lower cost than the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. It can also be held in a normal refrigerator instead of in a freezer. So throughout the morning here on Up with KREM, we're going to take a look at all of the vaccines that are being administered around the world, including the latest on first responders getting their Moderna vaccine right here in Spokane today. Of course, we got a lot to cover today. Jeremy's in the big box right now because one thing we've been talking a lot over the last couple of weeks has been this constantly changing weather situation. What are we looking at on a Monday?
On Monday, we're returning back to fall. That's today, and that's as we head through the week. But if you want the snow, all you got to do is head up into some of those higher elevation areas. It's heavy snow coming down in those mountain passes. But for most of us, it's just going to be rain. Temperature is way too warm to get anything other than rain this morning. 35 here in Spokane, 38 in Ritzville. How about Moses Lake at 39 degrees, Walla Walla 55, Pullman, Moscow 37. It is warm. Even Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint are above freezing this morning. Might see a little bit of snow off to the north before things transition over to rain, but with a potent warm front bringing us this first round of moisture, that snow doesn't last long. You got to get up and over 3,000 feet to find some of that snow as we scoot through the day because it's all about the rain. Heaviest rain comes down through the middle portion of the day, then kind of tapers off as we head into the second half of the day, and we actually dry out as we get into the day tomorrow. But wind picks up. Wind helps bump our temperatures up, so wind gusts this afternoon up near 30 miles per hour accompany this. Temps in the low 40s, so it is not going to feel like winter. And to put all this in perspective, Joshua, our normal high temperature this time of year, 33 degrees, so that's quite a bit above normal.
And yet, I still have moments where I walk outside and the dog is like, nah, I don't want it.
Nah.
Too cold.
Yeah,
we'll check it with Jeremy. Yeah, we'll check with Jeremy in a little bit to see what else is coming up this week. Hey, but local high-risk first responders will receive the Moderna vaccine in Spokane today. And our Nicole Hernandez joins us live from the Spokane Fire Training Center, where a drive-through vaccination clinic is set to take place later today. What do we need to know, Nicole?
Yeah, Joshua, so this fire training center right here near Spokane Community College is where first responders will be coming to get that COVID-19 Moderna vaccine. And the drive-through clinic is opening today. So Spokane EMS said that they have trained some of their workers to help give out the vaccine. The health district says that they'll be able to give out 24 vaccines every hour. That means in the next 10 days, they'll be able to get 3,000 high-risk first responders vaccinated.
So it is very important that they're immunized to protect them as well as to protect those that they're working with. So we had like 3 different seals of approval, which is more than we've ever had for any other vaccine. So I want to reassure everyone that these vaccines are as safe as any other vaccine, if perhaps not even more.
The health district said that there's already been 22,000 vaccinations given out in Spokane County. First responders are just the next group to be eligible to receive it. The interim health officer says getting the vaccine is a personal choice, but hopes people choose to get it as more clinics open up. And just in the next hour and a half, we will be talking to one of those first responders that is going to get the vaccine today. That will be happening here live on the CW22. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
We'll see you back then, Nicole. Also this week, Congress will vote to ratify the results of the November general election.
A group of 12 Republicans plan to object when a joint session ratifies the electoral count on Wednesday. They agree with the president now unsubstantiated claims of widespread voter fraud. Their challenge is not expected to change the results.
Meanwhile, as President Trump does continue his efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election, his latest effort has come from a phone call with Georgia's top election official asking him to find votes. In the audio of the Saturday phone call, first obtained by the Washington Post, Mr. Trump pressed Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to change the vote count, citing disproven claims of fraud. Let's listen.
You should want to have an accurate election, and you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have, not even close. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
This hour-long call follows dozens of failed legal challenges in several states. Georgia did recount its vote multiple times before certifying Joe Biden's victory, as Raffensperger, a Republican, fact-checked the president in real time. Now, even if there is any change in Georgia, other states would also need to be flipped in order to give Trump the necessary 270 Electoral College votes.
Today, both President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden will be in Georgia. They're both campaigning for their party's nominees in the Senate runoff election. The results of the Georgia Senate elections tomorrow will determine who controls Congress for the next 2 years. Democrats need to win both to take control of the Senate.
Lawmakers were sworn in to the 117th Congress just yesterday as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi swore in members in a series of groups rather than everyone all at once as a precaution due to the pandemic. And one of the new representatives from Washington also helped the House reach a new milestone. Take a look at your screen. This is Marilyn Strickland from Washington's 10th District in Olympia. She is the first Korean-American woman ever to be elected to Congress and the first African-American representative from Washington on the federal level. She wore a traditional Korean dress during the ceremony, the first person ever to do so on the House floor.
Nancy Pelosi secured enough votes yesterday to return as the Speaker of the House for the next session of Congress. This is the San Francisco Democrats' fourth non-consecutive term to lead the House of Representatives. Because of Republican gains in the House during the past election, the vote was closer than the last time she was chosen in 2019.
It is 7:08 now on your Monday morning. Time for your morning rush. More news in less time. Starting today, you can actually set your Christmas tree out on the curb to be picked up by the city. This week, the city's waste collection department is offering its free curbside Christmas tree pickup. Don't forget to take your decorations off your tree before you leave it out. Place it 3 feet away from your recycling bins, and your trunks, by the way, can't be bigger than 3 inches in diameter. Artificial trees will not be picked up. This service will be offered until Friday, January 8th. There's a new Washington law that now caps insulin costs at $100 a month. Health plans issued or renewed in 2021 must keep their co-payments, deductibles, and other forms of cost sharing under $100 per 30-day supply. Washington is following the footsteps of several other states that are trying to get a grasp on these skyrocketing insulin prices, including Colorado and Illinois. An outpouring of support is being shared online this morning to honor a powerful activist in Spokane. Deb Abrahamson was a longtime activist on the Spokane Reservation, and she died on New Year's Day after battling cancer for half a decade.
She hurts no more. You know, this cancer took a real toll on her body, but it didn't affect her mind and her soul and her spirit.
The chair of the Spokane tribe, Carol Evans, says Abrahamson led the tribe in the fight against nuclear energy and for the preservation of a clean earth. Bloomsday will be virtual for the second year in a row in 2021, but there is some new excitement surrounding the opportunities that are going to happen during this year's race.
Bloomsday was successful last year as a virtual event, and I think more races worldwide will continue being virtual or having virtual options.
The Bloomsday ambassador says he is disappointed with the return to the virtual format, but he says that he understands why it has to be this way. 20 different countries actually participated last year, and he says that number could increase this year. For more information on the virtual event and how you can participate, text the word Bloomsday to 509-448-2000. Hey, that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Well, schools in Spokane are looking to return to in-person classes in 2021. However, what are other states and even countries doing right now? We look into everyone's plans for the new year.
Plus, $600 stimulus checks are still rolling out today, so if you haven't gotten yours yet, you are not alone. We've got details on when the deadline is for Congress to get you your money.